the best possible. Okay, so having said that, so this particular seminar is, my name is, just to introduce, my name is Raghunandanan, and I'm one of the founders for this website, astrosri.com. And I do practice vedicastrology and also teach to students for the last few years online. Now, before we start into this webinar, first I would like to prostrate myself to the Agastya Rishi, who I consider as a Manasiga Guru. And just to give you a brief, so I think the grace of Guru is very important in Jyotisha Shastra. And these are some of the pictures of Agastya Rishi where I've taken it from the web. Like on the left side, you see that there is a peacock and somebody sitting there. It is Lord Subramanya teaching Agastya, because Subramanya is the guru of Agastya. That's what he claims. And he teaches him, and he's given one of the best books on jnana, wisdom, called Subramanya 500. Subramanya Jnanam 500. In Tamil, it is called 500. So this particular book is a kind of interaction between Lord Subramanya and Agastya. It's a beautiful book. Second is that below picture is about Agastya Rishi giving guidance in Ramayana to Lord Rama how to defeat Ravana by giving him the mantra of Aditya Hridayam, because Rama was almost defeated. And then at that point of time, Agastya Rishi comes to the rescue and gives that mantra to increase his Atma Bala. So that is Aditya Hridayam, which he's describing about it. And the other side is the Agastya Rishi is learning from Hayagriva about the importance of Lalita Devi. And Lalita Sahasranama, which is given by Hayagriva to Agastya, it is there in the Brahmananda Purana. So this is a little bit about what we know about Agastya Rishi. Okay, so by bowing to him, we start now the webinar on BADHAKA. When you hear the word BADHAKA, what it comes is something called an obstruction, something which is creating an obstacle in what you do. So that's called the BADHAKA. Okay, so when you say BADHAKA, when you say an obstacle, it is like somebody is creating an obstacle. Sometimes whatever we do also gets into a kind of obstacle state. That is also a kind of obstacle. So any progress, what we are trying to say, some obstacle is coming, that's called BADHAKA. Okay, removing comfort. Suppose you're in a comfort zone for quite some time and suddenly something just turns around and makes you into a non-comfort zone. That is also BADHAKA. Something is creating, something is pulling you back and torturing you and all. That is also a BADHAKA. Another thing is torture, like imprisonment is also connected with BADHAKA. A lot of torture from somebody is also connected with BADHAKA. Then not allowing for progress. It may be because of our own graha, horoscope reasons, or somebody else, external people, external somebody is influencing, not allowing you not to progress, are also connected with BADHAKA. Harassment, you see, the mental harassment, physical harassment are all connected with BADHAKA. Somebody who's going through the period of BADHAKA is prone to get into all this harassment period, is also connected with BADHAKA. Okay, so diseases, the final thing is the diseases. The diseases are also connected with BADHAKA. Very, very, very dangerous. And many times deaths occur during the time of BADHAKA. If you see the horoscope, during the Antardasha, Dasha of BADHAKA, or planets placed in BADHAKA sign are also connected with death and diseases. So if BADHAKA Lord, the owner of that particular sign of BADHAKA, is placed in 6th or 8th house, or with the graha or the grahas owning the 6th and 8th house, okay, are also very dangerous period, especially in terms of health. So basically, BADHAKA can create a torture, obstacle creator, harassment, and also disease and death are all connected with BADHAKA. Okay, now let's look at the next slide. How to find a BADHAKA? Okay, now how to find a BADHAKA? There are two ways of finding what is creating an obstacle for you. First way is doing a Prasnna. Prasnna, I'm sure many of you know what is Prasnna. Prasnna is something like you ask the Devata, or you perform at that point of time that somebody comes and asks you, I'm facing a lot of obstacles in my career. I'm not able to progress. There is a lot of harassment. I'm not able to progress. Then you see the Prasnna chart and see what is the reason for that particular obstacle. And then you give a remedy according to it to overcome that. That is through Prasnna. That is for the immediate kind of reason. Immediately, for when you want to find a solution, you ask for Prasnna. Okay. Prasnna is something beyond a horoscope. Horoscope is based on your past life, what is triggering. Hello, if you can mute, it will be great. You can mute your connection. So if you look at the Prasnna chart, is basically because of to find out the current reason what is creating you an obstacle. Horoscope chart is based on your past life. If you're going through a dasha, antardasha. Now, first you need to be very clear with what is Prasnna. Okay, so Prasnna is there are different types of obstacles somebody can go through. One is Preta. Preta means dead. Somebody who's dead, somebody who was very close to you died, and that particular takes the form of Preta. Preta is something like about 1 year of death and things like that. It's just an indication about it. That particular Preta can create an obstacle. Suppose somebody has a very close friend or a relative died, and then this person was so close, and that particular Preta tries to influence and create a little bit of obstacle in your progress, because that cannot leave you alone, something like that. Another one is enemies. Enemies do kind of lot of obstacles, especially abhichara. Abhichara is a kind of black magic, or enemies can create plotting against you, are also another type of dosha obstacles that can create. Gandharva. Gandharva is certain devatas, certain deities can also come and connect with you and create certain obstacles. Sometimes a young women unable to get married, may be reason that there is a lot of influence of Gandharva from a different plane of existence can create blocking of marriage and things like that. Ekshi is a kind of another devata, which is not bad. I'm not talking on the bad side. It is like Ekshi can also be a creator of obstacle for some kind of thing. Everything is connected with karma. Without you doing anything, none of this comes. So that's the basics. Kuladeva can become an obstacle. You have not worshipped Kuladeva for some time, or you have not gone to the temple of Kuladeva, or you have not followed the regular connected with Kuladeva, or all can create a lot of obstacles. Hello, I think you have to mute the phone. Hello, yeah, please mute it. Okay, Kuladeva can create an obstacle in your progress. Black magic, abhichara, black magic. Somebody is not happy with you, but they don't like to directly fight with you. Then they take a help of black magician and create a lot of obstacle through health problems or anything connected with that, or also connected with types of badhaka or badha that can happen. So when you see a Prasnna chart, you identify what is the reason for that particular badhaka, and then suggest the remedies accordingly in the Prasnna, and who should do the remedies and by when will you get the results. These are all seen from a Prasnna chart. Now, the reason for this particular seminar is not Prasnna, but for the horoscope chart. Now, how do you identify the Badhaka Graha, or how do you identify these Badhaka problems from a horoscope chart? So let's go to the next slide. Okay. So, yeah, next slide. This is the horoscope. I'm just putting into a South Indian style because in North Indian style, I'm not able to get this. This is taken from the web. In other slides, I've given the North Indian also. So if you see Mesha, if you look at Mesha here, Mesha is the first sign. Okay. I'm just marking it here. Mesha is the first sign. So Mesha is the first sign, number one sign in any horoscope. Okay. So Mesha is a movable sign. You see, Aries is called Mesha. This is Aries. This is called Mesha. Okay. This Mesha, for the rule of Badhaka is for all the movable signs, 11th house is the Badhaka. For Mesha, Kumbha will become Badhaka sign. Okay. For Mesha Lagna, suppose in your horoscope you have Mesha Lagna and you want to find which is the Badhaka Rashi, then 11th from your Lagna, if you are in a movable sign, or I'll come to the next slide about which is movable and fixed. Okay. Second is Rishabha is called Taurus. Okay. For Taurus is a fixed sign. For all fixed signs, the 9th house is from Taurus, Rishabha, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th house is the Badhaka. So any planets located here, or Shani, who's the owner of Makara, can cause a lot of Badhaka during the Dasha Antardasha of the planet. Similarly for Mesha, that is for the movable signs. Okay, Chara Rashi, Kumbha, which is owned by Rahu as well as Shani, can create a lot of obstacles here. Third type of Badhaka is Mithuna Rashi. Mithuna is a dual sign. Okay, it's called dual sign. For dual sign opposite, that is Dhanu is the opposite sign. So this sign can be a Badhaka Rashi. If you are a Lagna of Mithuna Lagna, then Dhanu will be the planets placed here, and Jupiter, who's the owner, Brihaspati, who's the owner, will cause you obstacles and troubles here. Similarly, so fixed, movable, and there are three types. One is Chara Rashi, which is called movable signs. Movable signs are nothing but Mesha, Karka is Karkadaga or Cancer, Tula is Libra, and then Makara is Capricorn. These are all called movable signs or Chara Rashi. So exactly 11th from there is the Badhaka Rashi. So for Makara, 11th is Vrichika. If you count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, 11th is Vrichika. Okay, so this is the Badhaka Rashi. So similarly for fixed signs or Sthira Rashi, Vrishabha, this is called Vrishabha or Edavam. In South, in Kerala, it's called Edava Rashi or Taurus. So Vrishabha, Simha, Vrishtiga and Kumbha, 9th from there. So let's say Kumbha, 9th from there. That is Tula will become the Badhaka Rashi. And for Mithuna, it is simple. For the that is dual signs. For the dual signs, which is Mithuna, Kanya, Dhanu, and Meena, opposite signs. For Meena, the opposite sign Kanya will be the Badhaka Rashi. For Dhanu, Mithuna will be there. And for Mithuna Lagna, those who are born in Mithuna, Dhanu will be the Badhaka Rashi. So here I've given a table of which are the grahas can cause a thing. First, you should see for Mesha, for example, if you're born on a Mesha Lagna, see Aquarius or Kumbha, any planets there will become a Badhaka. Okay, or if no planets there, then Rahu and Shani will become a Badhaka. Okay, similarly for Edavam or Taurus or Rishabha, Capricorn, Makara will become the Badhaka Rashi, and any planets there will create a trouble for Badhaka. If no planets, then take Shani. Okay, whenever Shani's Dasha, Antardasha comes, will be. So similarly, this table explains about the Badhaka type of planets. I hope this is quite clear. So you can go through this particular table, you'll be able to identify which Graha during the Dasha, Antardasha. Dasha, Antardasha is something like the period. Which year of my life will I have a problem with Badhaka? Then you will be able to identify those grahas which is in the Badhaka Rashi, or the owner of that particular Rashi, if there is no graha there, can create a Badhaka. Okay, so this is the table which shows about the Badhaka Rashi connected with that. Okay, so next one, which is very crucial, which we will be seeing, is also quite important here. I will take you through the next slide. I hope no clarification in this.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Because this is quite important, that's why I'm asking. Okay, now I'm coming to this particular area. I think I'll have to rub this anyway. Quick tips to identify Badhaka. Okay, I have already taught you in the previous area itself. How do you identify a Badhaka? So here, quick tips are nothing but for all fixed signs, which is I told you last time itself, Rishabha or Edavam, Simha or Leo, Vrichiga or Scorpio, Kumbha or Aquarius. 9th house is the Badhaka sign. For all movable signs, that is Mesha, Karkadaga, Tula, Makara, okay, are all 11th house is the Badhaka. And for dual signs, which is Mithuna, Kanya, Dhanu, and Meena, are all 7th house is the Badhaka. So if your Lagna is in that, so you'll have to, this is the how to identify Badhaka. Now I'll tell you there are some tips here. Not all Badhakas are bad as you look at it. Not all Badhakas are bad. I will tell you how it works. Malefic grahas, there are Papa grahas in the horoscope. See, it is not grahas who are Papa. It is our own karma, which is basically a Papa. So it is actually wrong to say Papa grahas, but for the sake of identification, we see that malefic grahas are Papa grahas. So Mars is called Mangala or Chauva, it is called that. Shani is called Saturn, Rahu itself, Ketu, and Surya are triggers. triggers severe Badhaka when placed in Badhaka signs. That is, for example, for fixed signs like Rishabha Lagna, Edava Lagnam, the ninth Magara will become a Badhaka. So if Mars, Shani, that is Mangala, Shani, Rahu, Ketu, Surya is there, that will create a severe Badhaka, because a malefic or a Paba Graha can create a severe Badhaka if it is associated with any of these Badhaka signs or they own the Badhaka Rashi. Okay. And if a Graha, if a Shubha Graha, for example, Guru, Brihaspati or Shukra is associated with any of these Paba Grahas, which is also the Badhaka, that particular Shubha Graha also will not get good benefit. It will also be a terrible time for them. I'll show you that how it works. Okay. Next is benefics. Shubha Graha. Guru is called Brihaspati or Jupiter in English. Venus is Shukra. Mercury is Buddha. And Moon is Chandra. When this is associated with Badhaka Rashi, there is something called, it gives overseas opportunities to go abroad and come. Okay. So if you are in a comfort zone, then it will pull you and take you to go to overseas or abroad. Okay. So there is also benefit connected with Badhaka if it is a Shubha Graha. That is Brihaspati, Shukra, Buddha, and Chandra gives overseas opportunities if it is connected with Badhaka Rashi or if it is placed in a Badhaka sign. Okay. So it is not fully bad. That's what I'm trying to say. Badhakesh is not bad in 12th house. If your Lagna is, for example, Kanya Lagna, and your Badhaka Rashi is what? Meena, which is owned primarily by Guru. And that Guru is in Simha, which is 12th from Kanya, then that Guru may not create a Badhaka for you. Rather, it starts giving better benefits and results in it. That's the point I'm trying to say. It is actually there in Brihat Parashara Horashastra, where he describes that for Tula Lagna, Surya, if it is in the 12th house, which is in Kanya, that is for Tula Lagna, 11th house is owned by Surya. That is Leo, Simha. And if that Surya, which is the owner of 11th house, is in the 12th, that is in Kanya, then it gives longevity. That's what he says. So indirectly, Parashara Muni says that, yes, that Badhaka in 12th house is not really bad. So that is how we try to find that particular poem, find that particular thing in that. So Badhaka planets in 12th house is not going to create a serious problem. That's what we could identify that. I think next is, let us look at some examples. This is the chart of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So if you look at his horoscope chart, you will be able to find out that Lagna is Karkadaga Lagna. So Karkadaga Lagna, so which is the Badhaka Rashi? 11th from, it is a movable sign. Okay, Karkadaga is a movable sign, as we discussed. So 11th from there, which is Taurus or Edavam or Rishabha, is the Badhaka sign. Okay, so Venus can be a Badhaka. Venus can create a Badhaka. Now, how do Venus behave while creating a Badhaka is because Venus is associated with Mercury here. Look at Venus and Mercury. So Mercury can act like a Badhaka by the rule of conjunction. I think there is some... if you can mute the phone, it will be great. I think some participants. Okay, I've muted that. Kindly mute in case, because it will create a disturbance for others. Okay, so here what we are looking into here is Lagna. So in this case, Venus is supposed to be a Badhaka sign. If you recollect his horoscope, he had some problems connected with he had some problems. He, like when Venus Dasha started, that is when Shukra Dasha started, he immediately came from England to India. So he was quite comfortable in England at that point of time. So as soon as the Venus Dasha started, because Venus is the owner of the Badhaka sign, so where he was in a comfort, where he was having a very enjoying life, he had to come back to India and fight for the freedom. A lot of challenges after that started and all that when he was a freedom fighter. So basically, Badhaka sign can create a little bit of trouble. He was imprisoned and a lot of things happen, are all connected with Badhaka sign. Okay. Also, if you look at his death, it was 27th May 1964. Mercury Antardasha and Rahu Mahadasha was his death. See, Mercury is, if you can look at Mercury, Mercury is joined. You see there, Mercury is with Shukra, Venus. Okay, so when a planet is by rule of conjunction, if a planet is joining another planet, like Venus is the Badhakadipati joining Mercury, it gives the power to Mercury to, create a lot of, it gives power to Mercury as a killer. So Badhaka is transferred to Mercury. So he basically died during the Mercury Antardasha and Rahu Mahadasha. So these are some of the areas where you can where you will be able to these are some of the things which is an example for Badhaka. I'm trying to give a very simple example so that you can understand the concept very well, and then you can apply it later. The next chart which I'm going to take here is another chart of the ex-chief minister of Tamil Nadu. If you look at here, she is of course, there is a confusion on which lagna she is basically born in. But if you look at the horoscope chart here, it is Rishabha, that is Edava Lagna. That is what it is connected with. Edava Lagna, the ninth lord is, so for all fixed signs, if you look at the principle which I have already taught you, the principle is ninth. Ninth lord is the Badhaka Sthanadipati. So here the Badhaka Sthanadipati is Shani. So, she died during the 5th December 2016 during a Shani Antardasha. So whenever Shani Antardasha came, if you look at a horoscope, if you put the Dasha Bhukti and then you see entirely Shani Antardasha, she had a lot of trouble. So why would Shani create a trouble? Because it is a Badhaka Sthana. It owns the Badhaka. So Badhaka can create a lot of trouble, and it can also create death if it is coming in the end of your longevity period. So these are the two examples where I would like to clearly describe you about the principles of Badhaka. Okay, so so this is just a concept which I wanted to basically teach, because there was some clarifications. Now coming to the final part, this is very, very important. I'm sure that you would understand that whatever is done, but without remedies, it's not completed. Okay, now first thing is, for all I'll give you lagna. Suppose you look at your horoscope, and if you are able to find your lagna, and then what kind of worship you can identify the type of worship what you would require. Okay, now for Mesha Lagna, okay, again I'm telling you here, there's one important thing which you need to keep it in mind, that the planets there can also cause a Badhaka. Okay, so for example, Mesha Lagna, Kumbha is the Badhaka Rashi, which is owned by Rahu as well as Shani. Okay, we in our tradition we see both, not just Shani and Rahu. Now, in this case, if there is a planet in Kumbha, then if that planet is creating an obstacle, suppose Venus is in Kumbha, then you may need to worship goddess Lakshmi. Okay, so we are giving only the Pratyadi Devata or Devatas connected with that particular Badhaka. Okay, now Mesha Lagna, Kumbha Rashi, Kumbha is the 11th house from Mesha, it is the Badhaka sign. So if there is no planets there, or during the period of Rahu as well as Shani Antardasha Dasha, then the person is recommended to worship Lord Narayana, okay, or goddess Durga. Any of these forms can remove the obstacles that is on their way, that can remove the Badhaka problems connected with that. Okay, second is Rishabha or Edava or Taurus. Okay, the Badhaka Rashi is Magara, 9th, because it is a fixed sign. Since it is owned by Shani, we see that Narayana is the connected with the highest form of Narayana, that is connected with that particular graha is the worship, is the devata which needs to be worshipped here. Mithuna, as you know, it is Guru. Guru worship means Dakshina Murti can be worshipped, or any form of Guru. Suppose you take Lord Shiva as a Guru, you can worship, or Dakshina Murti. Karkadaga, goddess Lakshmi. Simha Lagna, if you're born in Simha Lagna, then Subramanya to be worshipped, because 9th house is Mesha, owned by Mars, which is Pratyadi Devata, is Subramanya. Kanya, again, Guru is the Devata there, and then you can worship. Guru worship is also there. Tula Lagna, if you're born in Tula Lagna, then Simha is the thing. Surya or Shiva can be worshipped. For Vrichiga, Gauri, Parvati, goddess Parvati can be worshipped. And for Danu, which is the Danu Lagna, Mahavishnu, because Mithuna, Mahavishnu can be worshipped. And for Makara, Ganesha can be worshipped. And for Kumbha Lagna, Lakshmi, goddess Lakshmi, because 9th house is connected with Venus, so 9th Lakshmi can be worshipped. And for Meena, Mahavishnu, because 7th house is connected with Buddha there. So these are some of the key things what I would like to talk about, the remedies connected with that. Remember one thing, suppose you are in any lagna, if for example, if there is a graha there, then worship that graha during the period of that graha, because that graha in that particular badhaka sign can create a badhaka. So worship that graha there. And if it is a no grahas there, then you can worship the owner of that particular Rashi. Now I have put in this chart only the owners there, but you can replace it with graha. For example, suppose Kanya Lagna, you are born on Kanya Lagna, Meena is the 7th house. If there is no graha there, obviously you can worship Guru, Brihaspati or Dakshinamurti, any form of Guru or Sai Baba, whichever form. But if there is, for example, Shani in Meena Rashi, if there is Shani, then he should worship Narayana during the period of that particular Shani's Antardasha or Dasha. And when Jupiter's Dasha, Antardasha, then he can worship Guru. Okay, like that you can apply. So that's the point. I think I have 7 minutes left. So I hope it's quite clear. In case if you have anything, thank you so much for listening to this particular webinar, and I will hope to answer all your queries. The first query here is, even if the planets placed in Badhaka Rashi, yes, planets placed in Badhaka Rashi are obstacle creators, especially if it is a malefic planet. That is, I've already shown you in the webinar about malefic planets, which is Shani, Rahu, Ketu, Surya, and Mars and all that can create a terrible obstacle in that. If it is a Shubha Graha, sometimes it gives you overseas opportunity. So it is not actually bad. Okay. So, but Mercury is a benefic. Yes, Mercury is a benefic unless it is joined a malefic. Otherwise, Mercury is treated as a benefic. Okay. So, so this is the questions what we have. I hope if anything is there, you can open it up and you can ask me. No problem in that, and I should be able to answer you. Thank you for listening to it. Do you have any questions? You can you can unmute and ask me on that. Sir, I have a doubt.
Hello.
Yes, one question is there, sir. Namaste. If Badhaka planet placed in Lagna with Lagnadipati, yes, it is still a Badhaka. It affects your health, because Lagnadipati is talking about your physical health. It creates a problem in the health. There is no exclusion of Badhakadipati in Lagna will help or something like that. No. Badhakadipati in Lagna is also not good. During the period of Badhakadipati's Dasha, Antardasha, the health can create troubles and things like that. So that's how it is. This is especially
what happens if Badhakadipati is exalted, something like that, right? For example, for Tula Lagna.
Yes, I got it. For Tula Lagna, if Badhakadipati is Surya, and if Surya is exalted in Mesha, yes, still the Badhaka effect is there, but it is reduced, because whenever the exaltation or own house it comes to that, the malefic, the Paba effect of a Graha reduces a lot, but still there is an obstacle and a Badhaka issue is there, but it will not be a serious trouble as connected with if it is not exalted. Exalted planets reduce a lot of effect of that particular kind of effect in that. So exalted planet reduce the negative effect of Badhaka sign, but still it is a Badhaka.
What happens if it the Graha sits in, for example, for Kanni Lagna, Guru is the Badhakadipati, right? He sits in 3, 6, 8, 12,000. 12,000 you said it's good actually.
Only in
12,000. What about 3, 6, 8?
3, 6, 8 is also bad. Only in 12,000 Guru gives it is a better result, but other signs it is still negative or it is still bad.
Okay.
Only in 12,000. That is because there is no principle, but it is because in Brihat Parashara Horas Shastra, if you look at that particular chapter, it is mentioned that Surya in 12,000 for a Libra Lagna can give 100 years of life. So based on that particular principle, it is derived that Badhakadipati in 12,000 does not impact to a large extent, negative. Similarly, I've seen in many horoscope charts for Kanya Lagna, I remember, not Kanya, Mithuna Lagna, I remember, 7th Lord is Badhakadipati, Brihaspati. It was in the 12th house. This person has gone abroad. He did not face any problem, but though he had some challenges with his spouse, there were some challenges, separation from the spouse and things like that, but still he had gone abroad and it was not that serious also. So, so going by the principle.
What happens if many planets is in the 7th house? For example,
it is
for
all
Dhanur
create
Lagna,
Badhaka. It is Badhaka.
Okay.
All the
But
planets.
it is aspected by Guru, the seventh lord itself. That also
No,
is not favorable.
no. It does not favor anything of that. It is still a Badhaka.
Okay.
Graha Drishti will not reduce the Badhaka effect of it. And especially if it is a Rahu Badhaka, I had my daughter, she is a Rishabha Lagna, that is Edava Lagna, and ninth house is, she's got Rahu in the ninth house. She's going through the Rahu Antardasha period. It was a terrible time. She could not complete the exams, and each time she appears for the exam, she had a fall in the leg fracture, everything. It is just because of one reason is because of Sarpa Badhaka, Rahu. You know, that's a kind of, and if it's Rahu, it's terrible. As I told you, malefic planets, it's terrible. Shubha not that serious. You still can manage it. You'll have some peace of mind and things like that. But you'll have some lacking, but you can still manage it. But Papa Graha, it's terrible. It will physically and it will give you a lot of harassment.
Sir, what if the Badhaka planet is placed in ninth house along with the Shubha Graha?
The Shubha Graha gets the negative effect of it. During the period of Antardasha of Dasha of Shubha Graha, that Shubha Graha will go through the Badhaka effect.
Okay, so in this case,
Jawaharlal Nehru's chart, which we have very clearly seen, that Mercury has created caused the death, where Mercury has no connection with the death for a Karkatak Lagna, but because it is along with Badhaka planet.
okay, no, you were saying that it gives a foreign opportunity. So how
When it is when the longevity is ending, that planets associated with Badhaka can create death. You have to see the longevity compartment. What is the longevity? And if the Badhaka, Dasha, Antardasha or planets connected with Badhakas coming in that end period, then it can create cross death.
Okay.
Otherwise, during that Antardasha, he may fall ill and things like that. It creates obstacle, but it will not create cause death.
Okay, sir, what if Badhaka planet, as you said, it is placed in 12th house?
Yeah.
Actually, for Mesha Lagna, there are two Badhaka planets, which
Yes.
is Saturn and Rahu.
Yes.
So Saturn is placed in 12th house.
Yes.
And Rahu is placed in Lagna itself, in Mesha
Yes.
Lagna itself.
Yes.
So how do we?
Rahu will create problems. Definitely Rahu will create problems, no doubt in that, because of ownership of Badhaka Rashi. And Saturn will give reduced effect of Badhaka. It will almost be nothing, not much of problem created by that. Especially for dual signs, this you'll face this challenge. Similarly, for Kumbha Lagna also, Ketu as well as Mars will create an obstacle. Both you'll have to see.
Okay, sir, you showed us
I just have less than 1 minute, so if you have quick questions, I can.
Yes. So, sir, if you said you have showed the list of gods.
Yeah.
So I just want to understand, can we pray the planet also? Say, for example,
no, planet will not have the power to remove the Badhaka. It is Pratyadi Devata, which is the right thing for removing the Badhaka, because Badhaka is very severe.
So we should not pray
you
the
can pray
planet.
to the planets. You can pray to the planets and also the Pratyadi Devata. But Pratyadi Devata can only remove a Tattva level problems.
All right, sir. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. God bless everybody. Let Guru's blessings come to you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I'll try to upload it in YouTube. I'll give you the links. Thank you.
Sir, I have shared another list of questions.
I'll take it in the next.